Why, hi there, I'm Ron Juckett, and it's time once again for Pro Football 78, the lunchtime replay, the rematch between the Steelers and the Broncos from Cleveland's Municipal Stadium on the banks of Lake Erie. And this is a big one. The Browns are 6-0. The Steelers are 4-2. Now, I must admit right from the top, and if you watch this, later on demand, I screwed up and played some Week 8 games by accident. I hoped, just for the sake of continuity, to have not played any of the other teams I was playing in Week 7. That is not true. Pittsburgh has actually played their Week 8 game. They played it against Houston. I won't tell you who won, but this is a pretty big game. A win today makes Cleveland 7-0 on the replay and puts the Steelers a full 2.5 games behind Cleveland. Now, let me do my math here. A win today by Cleveland puts them 3 games back of the Browns with 9 games to go. As I'm searching to put up my notes on the game. That's a pretty big deal. Now, I will say this. The Steelers lose the tight end Cunningham for the rest of the year after next week. He was injured, but because I played the games out of order, I uninjured him. He is with the Steelers today. He will not be for the rest of the regular season because he was injured in the game against Houston. So, that's the deal. It's Washington and Philadelphia tomorrow at noon. And then next week, would you believe, it's the Browns and the Kansas City Chiefs and the Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles. Those are your games next week, Week 8. This week, we've already done Chicago and Denver. We have Seattle and Cleveland today, Washington and Philadelphia from RFK tomorrow. The weather, it's not a factor. It's a gorgeous late October day, 54 degrees. Not a breath of wind. So with all that, the Steelers have won the toss. Cleveland will kick. Don Cockcroft from his own 35-yard line. Anderson to return. The Steelers are going to be going left to right, and they're in their white jerseys with their black helmets. The Browns in the brown shirts and the orange helmets. And they're going to be going right to left. Anderson is a deep man. He stands at the 9-yard line. And we are underway from Cleveland. And the kick is short by Cockcroft. It's taken at the 10, to the 15, 20, 25, 30, to the 33-yard line before Babbage makes the tackle. Larry Anderson on the return, and the Steelers will start this drive 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line. Let's meet the Steelers, shall we? Offensively, it's Terry Bradshaw. He was a 56% pass completer in 1978. The dual setbacks of one Rocky Blyer and Franco Harris. Franco is the primary running back. Blyer is a good blocking back. On the far side is Lynn Swan. 61 catches, but somehow didn't have 1,000 yards receiving. On the near side is John Stallworth. Averaged 19.5 yards a catch. And Benny Cunningham, playing his last game of the regular season, averaged over 20 yards a catch. We'll meet the line in a moment. And it's a sweep left for Harris. He goes to the far side, gets across the 35 before Mitchell makes the tackle at the 36. It's a gain of 3. As I said, Mac Mitchell on the tackle. Let's meet the Steelers line. From left to right, John Kolb is the left tackle. Sam Davis is the left guard. 5 and a 5. Kolb is a 9 and a 9, blocking at left tackle. The Hall of Famer Mike Webster, he's a 10+, both with the run and the pass. Jerry Mullins is the right guard, a 5 and a 5. And Ray Penny is a 5 and a 5. 2nd down and 7. And it'll be Blyer on a pitch to the far side, and he gets a block across the 40-yard line before Ambrose makes a tackle after a gain of 6, 3rd and 1. First tackle for him on a 6-yard carry. Here's the Browns defensively. They play a 4-3. Then from left to right, Joe Jones is your left defensive end. He's a 4 against the run. Jerry Shirk is an 8 overall and an 8 against the run. Earl Edwards is your other defensive tackle. He's a 5 overall and a 5 against the run. And Mac Mitchell's already got 1 tackle, is a 4 against the run. The 3 linebackers. Charlie Hall on the right side. He's a 5 against the run and a 6 overall. Dick Ambrose plays the middle. He's a 5 against the run and is a 5 overall. Gerald Irons is the left outside linebacker, a 5 against the run and a 5 overall. Oliver Davis is your right corner, a 6 against the pass, a 6 overall. And Clarence Scott, the left corner, 5 and 5. Your safeties. Tony Peters is your free safety. He's 5 overall, 2 against the run and 3 against the pass. And Tom Darden is a 9, 10 interceptions on the real year, and 8 against the pass. So 3rd and short. Harris will go off tackle to the left. You've met everybody. He doesn't have it. Shirk with the stop. It's a no gain. So the Steelers are stopped 3 and out at their own 42-yard line. And so Craig Colquitt will punt. There's no wind. Wright is back there inside his 10. And he will call a fair catch. And that is taken at the 8-yard line. And that's where the 11-yard line. I can't tell where I am on the field. 47-yard punt. Keith Wright flips it over. And the Browns take over 1st and 10. It's the Pruitt and Pruitt show in the backfield with Brian Sipe. Brian Sipe is your quarterback, and he's as good as they come in 78. He completed 56% of his passes. Mike Pruitt is the secondary running back. He's your fullback. Greg Pruitt is your tailback, almost a 1,000-yard rusher. Dave Logan, your far side wide receiver. Reggie Rucker is your near side wide receiver. He had 95 yards in this game in real life. And Ozzie Newsome is the tight end. Greg Pruitt on an off tackle left. And he gets a little bit of room before Mean Joe Green drills him for a gain of 2. 2nd down and 8. The Browns, how are they 6-0? Well, they have 382 yards total offense in a game. And are holding teams to just about 300. When you outgain teams by 80 yards, good things happen. The line for the Browns, from left to right. Doug Deacon is the left tackle, is 7 and 7. Robert Jackson, the left guard, is 7 and 7. Tom Deloney is your center. He's a 6 and 6. Henry Shepard is the guard. He's a 6 and 6. Barry Darrow is your right tackle. He's also a 6 and 6. So a good line to protect Sipe and to run the football. 2nd down and 8. Under 12 to go in the first quarter. Greg Pruitt on a pitch to the far side. And he's got it doesn't have much room. Jack Ham on the tackle. No gain. He was blitzing all the way. And he makes the stop. So 3rd and 8 for Cleveland. Let's quickly meet the Pittsburgh defense. They play a 4-3. And from left to right, Dwight White is your left defensive end. He's a 5 and a 6. Steve Furness, a 4 and a 5 at the left defensive tackle. Your right defensive tackle is none other than Mean Joe Green, and he's one of the all-time best. He's an 8 overall and a 7 against the run. L.C. Greenwood is your right defensive end. He's a 6 runner, a 6 against the for sacks, and an 8 overall. The left outside linebacker is Jack Lamb. He's a 9 against the run and a 10+ overall. Jack Lambert, who would eat shredded glass if you let him, a 6 against the run and an 8 overall. And Robin Cole, who's just merely average, sits on the right side, gets to play with one of the best linebacking core in football history. The right corner is Mel Blount. Blount is a 9 overall and a 9 against the pass. Ron Johnson is a left corner. He's 5-5. Your strong safety is Donnie Shell. Had 3 real-life interceptions on the year, 3 against the run and a 5 against the pass. And Mike Wagner, an 8 overall at free safety, 2 against the run and a 6 against the pass. So 3rd and 8. And Sipe's going to try a short hitch to Ozzie Newsome. Pittsburgh blitzes. Sipe has time. He looks for Logan instead, and he's got him, but it won't be for a first down. He's a yard short. Johnson with a tackle, and Cleveland will punt from their own 20-yard line. So 3 and out for the Steelers, 3 and out for the Browns. Johnny Evans comes in, averaging 42 yards. There's no wind, so it's a straight there. And the Pittsburgh Steelers will return from their own 35, 40, flag down at the 42.
Illegal block. Receiving team, 15-yard penalty.
So L.C. Greenwood got caught with an illegal block. So it's a 46-yard punt. It's going to get some help. And Pittsburgh will start this possession from their own 21-yard line. So the Browns are looking for their 7th win of the year and to put the Steelers in a 3-game hole here in the AFC Central. Bradshaw working from the top of the baseball infield. And he wants Stallworth on a medium slant. He's got time. Now he's going to have to run. He gets to 25 before Mitchell is hit. Hall is shaken up. His return is probable. And so Bradshaw has to scramble for 3. 2nd and 7 from the Pittsburgh 24-yard line. So no pass on the play. And Harris on a pitch to the near side. On 2nd and long, and Cleveland had that all sniffed out. The Browns, loss of 3. Earl Edwards with the tackle. They keyed on Franco Harris, and that's what happened. So 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 from the 21-yard line. Pittsburgh has tried to run it 5 times and gotten 9 yards out of the deal. Short slant to Benny Cunningham. Nope, Cleveland's going to blitz. So screen to Blyer on 3rd and 10. Bradshaw finds him at the 8-16. He gets across the line of scrimmage. He gets a first down and more before Dick Ambrose knocks him down at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 14. And that'll be the first down in the game. I can't tell you Bradshaw's last stats because that gives away the farm. Remember, I screwed up. And so Pittsburgh has already played their Week 8 game. I won't tell you about it until after this one's over. So for this purposes, they're 4-2 and Cleveland is 6-0. So 1st and 10 after the 14-yard screen to Blyer. And we'll go, there's a flag on the play.
Encroachment. Defense. Number 64, 5-yard penalty.
So the defensive end, Jones, makes contact before the snap, and it's 1st and 5 for the Steelers from their own 40. So a long slant to Swan on 1st and 5. Bradshaw has time, and it's deflected by Darden and not intercepted. Darden and Swan were doing a tango. Swan is pointing for the flag, but they're having none of it. So Darden got a piece of it, and Swan's smart hands probably prevented the interception. So 2nd down and 5 for Pittsburgh from their own 40. Harris off tackle to the near side on the right. Across the 40, gets a good block, gets a first down. A gain of 6 before Gerald Irons makes the tackle. We're going to go just about 8 minutes ago, first quarter, clock running. No score, opening stanza. Pittsburgh and Cleveland in this big game in the AFC Central. 1st and 10. Harris, 4 carries for 6 yards. Blyer off tackle to the near side, to the right. Gets a good block, gets across midfield before Jones makes the stop. And it'll be 2nd down and 6. And Stratomatic Delaware says, hey, Ron, kind of torn here. My Brownies but I can't root against the Steel Curtain. Well, let's put it this way. A Cleveland win today puts Pittsburgh 3 games behind. They can't win a Super Bowl if they don't make the playoffs. If Pittsburgh win today, makes that gap, well, they would be 5-2. Hi, Al. They'd be 5-2 and within 1 game. So this might be the season for the Steelers if that gives you a rooting interest. And for Al's purposes, Pittsburgh in white going left to right on a 54-degree afternoon, no wind. Cleveland is favored by 6 on the computer. In real life, Pittsburgh was favored by 4. Yep, it's nutso. It really is. So 2nd and 6 from midfield. Harris on the Packer sweep to the near side, and Cleveland sniffs that one out. Jones hits him at the line of scrimmage. So they keyed for Franco, and they got him. So 3rd and 6 for Bradshaw and company from the 50. Short slant to John Stallworth. Cleveland blitzes. Bradshaw feels it. Scott got a hand on it. And there's an injury. It's Mitchell. It's the left defensive end, and he's questionable for the Browns. But the Steelers are going to have to punt. 6:39 first quarter. No score. Craig Colquitt, with no wind, stands at his 40. Gets it away. Cleveland will return this, really, from their 3 to the 10. And Peterson will make the tackle. Keith Wright on the return. He gets 6. And we'll spot this on the 8. Flip this around in real life. Cleveland was 4-2 coming into this game, and Pittsburgh was 6-0. The Steelers were favored by 4 and won by 20, 34-14. Mike Pruitt on an off tackle to the right on 1st and 10, and he gets across the 10 and a little bit more. A gain of 6 before Jack Ham drags him down at the 14-yard line. Ooh, 94 for which sport? Baseball or football? A new Strack Hart smell. I remember that. So 2nd down and 4 for Cleveland. Good run there. And Greg Pruitt will go off tackle to the near side. And that's nothing. Jack Lambert there. Hall is ready to come back in. 3rd down and 3 for the Browns. And this has been, baseball. Yeah, that's a good season. So, what will we do here? 3rd and short from the 15. Ozzie Newsome on a short crossing. Sight. Waits. Throws across his body and right through Mike Pruitt, who dropped the pass. So, 94 teams from all different eras. Okay. You should do a video on that, Al. So Cleveland will have to punt. 4th and 3. So again, 3 and out for the Browns. And the defenses are the star of the game early. Johnny Evans will stand on his goal line to punt to Bell. And that's kind of off the side of his foot. Pittsburgh's going to get good field position here. Bell gets it at the 48. He gets into Brown territory. There's a flag down, however.
Holding, receiving team.
And so, are you kidding? Robin Cole with the hold. Peter Graff, Steffi's father, makes the tackle for Cleveland. Well, I doubt it's that. And that will be, they'll spot it at the Pittsburgh 32. No score, 5:02 first quarter. Scoreless between the Steelers and the Browns on this AFC special game. Stallworth on a medium hitch on 1st and 10. Cleveland blitzes. Bradshaw gets it off to Stallworth at midfield. 45-40. He's got some room before Scott brings him down at the 37-yard line. So that is John Stallworth's longest catch of the year. 31 yards. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the Cleveland 37. So Pittsburgh, who already had good field position taken away, get it back. Rocky Bleier on a fullback dive, but Cleveland didn't like the lineup. And they'll take the timeout. So 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. Harris off tackle near side as the call. Gets a good block across the 35, irons with a stop after a gain of 4. So Harris now has done the bulk of the work, but only has 10 yards on 6 carries. Bleier, trap left, and he gets across the 30 before Shirk makes the tackle after a gain of 4. So Pittsburgh just kind of plodding along here. Bleier, 3 carries, 14 yards. And we're going to try a pass to Swan here on 3rd and short. Going to go medium slant, see if Cleveland is going to bite. Bradshaw has time, he throws. Swan has it at the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and that's 6. It was absolutely the right call. 3rd and short on a team that runs, and Bradshaw finds Swan for a 29-yard touchdown. Yep, Rocky Bleier, the fastest back ever with only 1 move. Anyway, here's the extra point. Jarrell is on, and the kick is up, and it is good. And so with 3:02 to go in the first period, it is Pittsburgh 7, Cleveland nothing. And so the kick from the 35, Collins is the deep man. He stands at your 8. Wright and Sullivan, the up men, and they're on the 15-yard line. And as Chris says in the chat, that Bleier, the fastest back ever with only 1 move. Drop the shoulder and doze on through. Such a tough player. Vietnam vet, actually served in combat duty and came back and had a wonderful career with the Steelers. His stats aren't Hall of Fame, but he's a good player. Kick is taken at the 5. 15-20, 25-30. Good return by Collins. It's a gain of 33. And it will be 1st and 10 at the Cleveland 36. So Gaines with a tackle. And Cleveland has good field position this time from their own 36. Again, Pruitt in the backfield. Hi, Dale. And Greg will take an off tackle to the left. He gets across the line, moves the legs before Mean Joe Green can stop the momentum at the 39-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 7 from there. So Cleveland has not had good luck. Well, neither team has had good luck running the ball. Short slant to Reggie Rucker on 2nd and 7. Side pass time. He throws into traffic. Wagner gets a deflection.
Pass interference.
And a pass interference penalty on top of it.
47, automatic.
Well, no, Blount was flagged for it. Wagner, that was just not a good read by Sipe. He threw it right into double coverage, but Blount just kind of got the hands up early. And so it'll be 1st and 10 from the Cleveland 47. The Browns catch a break. The Steelers have had 3 flags already for 38 yards. Oh, hope you feel better, Chris. So 1st and 10. We're going to go Mike Pruitt on a sweep to the near side. He's got some room. There's a flag down. Green with a hit.
Offense, number 33.
But Reggie Rucker, the wide receiver, gets called for the hold. And so move him back 10 yards. Remember, Chris, you just go in the mirror and say, "This is CNN." And you'll feel better. Maybe they actually will give you some money. Yeah, the Steelers defense has done the job. 1st and 20 from the Cleveland 37. And Calvin Hill comes in and joins Pruitt in the backfield. And it's a short pass in the flat to Hill. They are on Sipe in a hurry, and they had to rush him into the throw. Cole Lambert blitzed, and Sipe just had to ditch that thing. So 2nd and long from the 37. Yep. And so Greg Pruitt on the fullback dive. He's hoping for a blocker. He kind of gets one before Donnie Shell makes the tackle at the 40-yard line. So 3rd and 17. This Steelers defense looking a lot better than we did a couple weeks ago when we had these two teams. Cleveland goes to 3 wide. Keith Wright joins Reggie Rucker down on the near side. And Wright will try to get a medium slant. Sipe has time. He waits. He throws over the middle to Wright, who crosses midfield. There's a flag on the play. Tony Dungy makes the tackle.
Personal foul. Defense. Number 29.
And it's Johnson.
Penalty. Automatic. First down.
And so it's a 12-yard catch. They would have been short, but the 15-yarder gives Cleveland a fresh set of downs. What a mistake by Pittsburgh. So all told, that's a 27-yard play. And the Brownies have it 1st and 10 from the Steeler 33. Oh my goodness gracious. So Pruitt and Hill go back in the backfield. Wow. Those are the mistakes that stunk Pittsburgh in the game at Three Rivers. Calvin Hill on a pitch to the near side. Steelers are in the backfield to hurry and miss him. Hill will get a first down. Lambert makes the tackle after a gain of 11. Hill steps down to bounds. And so 1st and 10 from the Pittsburgh 22-yard line. Yeah. Too late for the replay, but yeah, Ron Jackson, he must have grabbed a face mask. I mean, very rarely do you see a personal foul in this game called away from the ball. So Calvin Hill, short pass in the flat. And he's got it at the 25. He's going to run to the 20, 15, and a first down. Lambert makes the tackle after Wagner could not, and they spot it at the Pittsburgh 10. You know, it's amazing because the Steelers would win this year's Super Bowl and the next year's Super Bowl. By 80, they were tired. You could just tell that you can only play so much football. But I think Chris is right. This team is starting to show its age. And Brian Sipe, he doesn't get the credit because Cleveland never made it that far in the playoffs, was a great quarterback in the late 70s and early 80s. 1st and goal from the 10. Cleo Miller joins Hill in the backfield. And Miller's going to try a sweep to the near side on 1st and goal. And that was a huge mistake as Mean Joe Green knocks him down at the line of scrimmage. And at the end of 1 quarter, the Steelers 7, the Browns nothing. Let's take a moment. I won't eat these on the air because I'm going to paint the button. It's going to make me even thirstier. I got a bowl of fresh roasted peanuts right here. As I was bad and had an apple muffin earlier. God, that was good. 2nd and 10, now that I've made you all hungry. It's just the start of the 2nd quarter. Pittsburgh has 101 yards of offense, and they lead 7-0. All right, Al. Keep listening. Browns are going right to left. There's no wind, 54 degrees. Field's in good shape. Logan on a short hitch on 2nd and goal. And he's got it. And he's going to he's going to get in the end zone. So Sipe with a 3-step drop knew where Logan's shoulder was, and Logan just waltzed it in for the touchdown. And so it's 7-6. Don Cockcroft out for the extra point. It is up, and it is hooking left but good. So with 9 seconds off the clock here in the 2nd quarter, it is Cleveland 7, Pittsburgh 7. So Anderson, the deep back, he stands about where you would find second base here in Cleveland. Kick is drifting to the left, taken at the 5 to the 20, 25, 30. Got room, 40. A good return. Mitchell is back for the Browns. Clay Matthews Sr. makes a tackle at the 38. And Larry Anderson with a beautiful 32-yard return. So that's where the Steelers start this drive in a 7-7 tie. 14:46 first half. Stallworth on a medium cross on 1st and 10. Bradshaw has the time. Stallworth has the football inside Cleveland territory. Scott with a tackle after a gain of 18. And so a good call by Bradshaw on the first play of the drive. They'll spot it at the Cleveland 44. Harris and Blyer behind Bradshaw. And Harris, will Pittsburgh audible? And go Harris on the screen on 1st and 10. Cleveland blitzes. Bradshaw picks it up. Harris has it at midfield. He gets to the line of scrimmage and more. It's a good call as Harris gets a first down inside at the 30-yard line. Darden with the tackle. And so if you're playing this game, especially in this era, if you get the chance to audible with a blitz, the screen is always a good option. It's not ever going to hurt you. And as you can see from the Steelers here, he got a first down out of it. So Bradshaw 5 for 7 for 106. In the real game, he was 10 for 21 for 175 and 2 scores. Blyer off tackle right from the Cleveland 30. And he's got some room. Jones with the tackle. Penny is hurt, the other tackle for Pittsburgh. His return is doubtful. So Peterson, number 66, is in the game. Ted Peterson, backup center and tackle of 4-4. Chris says this was a good passing team. The rules committee handcuffed defenses with the 5-yard rule. Yeah, and that's why completion percentage went up there. Pittsburgh took advantage, not as much so far in this replay. Dallas, too, and you'll see that. Staubach's got some good numbers. So 2nd down and 6 after the 4-yard carry. Clock stop 13:07. Blyer 4 carries for 18 yards. Harris on a trap to the right side. And he's got nothing as Hall read that all the way. They keyed Harris, and Charlie Hall makes the stop. It's a loss of 1, 3rd and 7. They are kind of in field goal range from here. Benny Cunningham on a short cross. Bradshaw finds Cunningham. First down inside the 20 to the 10. Cunningham to the 5. Davis saves the tackle. It's a gain of 24. 1st and goal from the 3. And so Pittsburgh is knocking on the door again. 1st and goal to go. 12 clock running, under 12 minutes to go. Harris on the Packer sweep to the left. Waits for a block and scores. The legs don't stop moving, and when he found the hole, he took advantage, and the Steelers go up 13-7. Cleveland was playing for the goal line, and that'll do it. So you don't hear much from the dog pound here. Chiarella's kick is up, and it is good. And so with 11:35 to go in the first half, it's the Steelers 14, the Browns 7. Steelers, by the way, when they're working it left and right, if you're watching on the screen, that painted end zone there is where the center field bleachers were. That's the open end, and that's the dog pound. And rumor has it that all the Krogers in the area sold out of Milk-Bone dog biscuits. So unless the Greyhound racing is hot and heavy in Fort Erie, they were warning people on the radio here before the game to not chuck things at the Steelers, such as batteries. But nothing was said about dog biscuits. Just putting it out there. All right, Collins, who's already got 1 return, is the deep end. He stands at his 9-yard line. Wright and Sullivan, the upmen, on their 15. Chiarella boots it away left or right. And it is taken at the 2-yard line. 5, 10, 15, 20, 24-yard line. Gaines, speaking of dog food, makes the tackle at the 24. Collins with his 2nd good return. So Cleveland starts this drive down by 7 from their own 24-yard line. Miller and Hill, Rucker and Logan, Newsom, the specialty backs, with Brian Sipe at quarterback. Sipe is 4 for 6 for 41. Calvin Hill off tackle to the left. And he gets to the line of scrimmage before Jack Lambert stands him back up and says no. Doug Deacon, the left tackle, made the bad block. And so Lambert has his 4th tackle of the game. And so that sets up 2nd and long for the Brownies. Cleo Miller, short pass in the flat. Cypus time, and it's deflected by Cole, but Miller completes it anyway. Miller gets a 1st down and more. He gets it out to the 38-yard line. Robin Cole had that play read, and he got a piece of it, but it's one of those things that he saw all that green and didn't finish the play. And Chuck Noll gives a very stern look from the sideline. Cole thought he had 6, and instead, Cleveland has a 1st down. So Miller, probably not the best play call I've made, gets 14 yards off of that. 1st and 10 from the Browns on their own 38-yard line. They trail 14-7. Under 10 to go, first half. Hill on the fullback dive, and he's got a little bit of room. Jack Ham wraps him up at the 41, 2nd down and 7. And so Mike Pruitt comes in the game. So be Pruitt and Hill in the backfield. 2nd down and 7 for Cleveland. Pruitt on a pitch to the near side, and he's got a bit of room across the 45. He's not going to get the 1st down, but he stopped after a gain of 6. Lambert with his 5th tackle. Doug Deacon, the left tackle, makes the big hole. So Cleveland is holding its own. They're trailing by 7, 3rd and short, about a yard. Brian Sipe calls his own number, and I believe he's going to be short. Nope, they got it. They come out to measure. L.C. Greenwood thought he had him wrapped up, but no. So a fresh set of downs for the Browns from their own 48. Ozzie Newsome on a medium slant. Pittsburgh blitzes. They have time, but Jack Ham makes the interception at the 41-yard line. That's his 1st of the year, and that's the first Cleveland turnover of the game. And so the boos and some dog biscuits rain down as Bradshaw and company start in good field position from their own 41-yard line. They can make it rather uncomfortable for the Browns. Remember, Pittsburgh won the toss, so Cleveland will get the ball first to start the 2nd half. Harris, sweep to the near far side. Gets a block, but that's about it. Mitchell makes a tackle at the line of scrimmage. They doubled Lynn Swan. Harris has a touchdown, but 9 carries for 12 yards. Not the best offensive game on the ground for Pittsburgh. Bradshaw, as we said, either, as Dale said in the chat, is a bad man. And it was his improv play to Swan on the short play that gave the Steelers the lead. They lead at 14-7. Actually, no, it was Cunningham, I believe. Anyway, pitch to Blyer. That's the call. Blyer gets across the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Jones knocks him out of bounds at the 43, a gain of 2, and it'll be 3rd down and 8 from the Pittsburgh 43. Stallworth on a short hitch. Bradshaw is flushed. He's looking. Ambrose deflects it, and it is incomplete. He wanted Harris down low. Cleveland had good coverage, and Ambrose just read Harris's movement and got a hand on it. So the Steelers can't do anything after the turnover, and they'll punt it. Craig Colquitt's back out, and the Browns will fair catch this one from about their 12-yard line. Just back to about the 10, and it's down there. So actually, it's rolled dead at the 9-yard line. So Wright called for a fair catch. Colquitt gets a 48-yard punt. Everybody's happy. And with 6:52 to go in the first half, it's the Steelers 14, the Browns 7. So the turnover does not hurt. So the non-related Pruitts are in the backfield. Pro set. Greg off tackle right on 1st and 10 from the 9. He gets to the 10, and that's about it. Banaszak with the stop. John's first. And that is such a football name, isn't it? Almost like you're watching a TV cop show from the 1970s. You almost want to say, Banaszak, a Quinn Martin production. 2nd and 9 for the Browns from their own 10. Rucker on a medium cross. Sipe is flush. Sipe's got to get rid of it. He's going to run it himself. He gets some positive yardage before Dwight White makes the tackle after a gain of 2. So the Steelers have done this afternoon what they couldn't do in Pittsburgh, and that's fluster Brian Sipe. They've just not let receivers run their routes, and they've done their job. Ozzie Newsome on a short hitch. Sipe throws off a back foot. Newsome has it. Does he have a first down? Yes, he does. Donnie Chill made the tackle, but right at the sticks. Fresh set of downs for Cleveland at their own 20-yard line. Clock running under 5 minutes to go. Greg Pruitt on a pitch to the near side. And he's got a little bit of help before Lambert makes the tackle after a gain of 3. So Greg Pruitt has 7 carries for 13 yards. Jack Lambert has 6 tackles already. And so the Steelers are pretty much telling Brian Sipe, beat us. Because we aren't going to let you beat us on the ground. Medium hitch to Ozzie Newsome. Sipe has time. He throws. Newsome has it for a first down. He gets across the 40, 45. Donnie Shell whips him down at the 46. A gain of 23. And so Brian Sipe says, okay, challenge accepted. Here, hold my Iron City. So 1st and 10 from the Cleveland 46. Sipe now 7 of 10 for 86 yards. Mike Pruitt on a trap to the right side, and he is stopped behind the line for a loss of 1 by Jack Ham. And when we actually talk about a linebacker, they've been a line gapper. They have just filled every gap that Cleveland has tried. So 2nd and 11 now from the 45. Pitch right to Greg Pruitt. And he is hit well behind the line of scrimmage by Jack Ham, among others. Pittsburgh will call time. The Steelers are playing for the pass. And so talk about a bad roll of the dice. It's a loss of 4, and it's 3rd and 15. Pittsburgh takes a timeout, 2:24. First half. And let's see, what do we have here? Medium slant for right. Who's the third receiver? Sipe loses the football. Greenwood with the fumble and the sack. Cleveland recovers. But they're going to have to punt. It's 4th and 23 from their own 33. And so Pittsburgh has 1 timeout and a 2-minute warning. And the football. Johnny Evans at his 20 off the side of his foot. This is going to be good field position for Pittsburgh. Maybe not. It kind of bounces. It's bounced out of bounds at the 21. So it's a 46-yard punt. Obviously need cataract surgery. And so Pittsburgh has 1 timeout, 2:11, and a 2-minute warning. They lead by 7. Cleveland gets the football to start the second half. 3 wide receivers for the Steelers. Jim Smith comes in as a 3rd wide receiver. And try and medium out to him. And Bradshaw has time, and he chunks it. No, it's intercepted by Davis. He looked for Harris. And Davis just followed Bradshaw's eyes, and that works as good as a punt. Chuck Noll is beside himself in this. Absolutely beside himself. Bradshaw tipped that pass away, and Cleveland has it at the Pittsburgh 30 with 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. I always coach both the offenses in football. It makes for a better show, and it makes it fair because some teams I like more than others, and so I want to play them fair, just like you'd be watching on a Sunday afternoon. And so I coach the offenses. Sometimes I get it right, and sometimes I get it wrong. In that case, I'm blaming Bradshaw because that wasn't the play I called. So 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Cockcroft has a 40% chance of making it here. Cleveland, remember, as I just said, gets the ball in 2 minutes and 7 seconds. So this is a real big swing. First turnover for the Steelers. Craig Pruitt on a pitch to the right. No, it's a botch play. And Sipe, what's he doing? He's going back. He's going back. I don't know what's going on. Now he runs it, and it's a fumble. And Pittsburgh recovers, and they're going to score. I don't believe it. Sipe was decked by Furness. He fumbled it twice. Cole picks it up. He's rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Well, that's what happens when you hit the rear player generator. Hello, IDJ. That was nuts. So here's what happened. Sipe was supposed to hand off to Craig Pruitt on a pitch to the right, and he fumbled the snap. And so he picked it up, and he fumbled. It was hit by Dwight Furness, who caused the fumble, and then Robin Cole picks it up at the 32-yard line and returns it 68 yards for a touchdown. And so the Steelers now lead at 20-7. So pardon me as I'm trying. The only box big enough to put the chat where I could see it is over the play-by-play. And so that's what it was. The chalkboard didn't have that one right at all. My goodness gracious. That's something right out of Football Follies. Anyway, the Steelers get a big touchdown out of that. That's not going. Thank you. That's not going to go on the Cleveland Browns highlight video from 78. Here's the extra point, and Jarrella hits it. And so it's now 21-7 with 1:55 to go in the first half. Again, the Browns have 2 timeouts in 1:55 as Jarrella boots it away. And the ball coming up. So they might get something out of here. Crowd likes it. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. No flags. Collins has had a good day returning. And so Cleveland in good shape on their own 40. But Brian Sipe must be stunned after that turn of events. I know I am. Greg Pruitt on a short flat. Back to basics. He's got it. 40, 45, 50, first down, 45, 40, 35-yard line before Jack Ham makes the stop after a gain of 25. Cleveland goes hurry up. Under 1:40 to go. Yeah, that was something on the Twilight Zone. You know, I mean, you pretty much know what the 3-yard gain is going to look like, but that's hard to describe. That really was. So 1st and 10, 35 of Pittsburgh. Cleveland got 25 on that play. Dave Logan on a short slant out of the hurry-up. Sipe is flushed. He throws it down to Pruitt. Pruitt gets to the 30. Jack Ham makes a tackle at the 27-yard line. Again, out of the hurry-up. Cleveland wants something here. Medium hitch to Reggie Rucker. 1:19 to go, and he throws down to Rucker, who's got it. 1st and 10 at the 15. 10, 5, 7, or 6. So Rucker gets the touchdown. That's the 7th of the year. A 27-yard catch for a 6, and the Browns just aren't going anywhere. And with 56 seconds to go, it's 21-13. Cockcroft from the dirt misses it to the left. Oh, baby. And so how large will that loom in about a half hour, guys, huh? So with 56 seconds to go in the first half, It's the Steelers 21, the Browns 13. This is nuts. This is nuts. That's great. So Cockcroft from what passes as grass on this 35. And as we see in the chat, ho-ho, Nelly. Cockcroft boots it away. And Bell will take it about the 9-yard line to the 20, 25, 30, 32-yard line. Graff with the tackle. And so with 49 seconds, the Steelers lead by 8. They have one timeout from their own 32. Bradshaw 6 of 10 for $130, an interception and a touchdown. And Harris on a short out. Let's throw everyone out. Bradshaw has time. He waits. And Harris has it. That was nearly intercepted. He runs for the sidelines. Irons makes the tackle. It's a gain of 11. And he gets out of bounds. So 42 seconds left. Pittsburgh on their own 43. Will go 3 wide. They'll bring in Smith. They'll try to go for it. They can stop it once. Jim Smith on a medium cross. Bradshaw by himself. Looks, throws. Smith has it. Inside the 40 to the 35. Ron Bolton with a tackle. Jim Smith's 20-yard catch. His longest of the season. And they'll go hurry up. They only have the one timeout. 33 seconds left. A field goal if they can get it. Swan on a medium fly. Bradshaw is looking. He's looking. He dumps it down to Harris. Harris has got a little bit of room to the 31-yard line. And 10 seconds left. They'll think about it. So 2nd down and 4. And what are we doing here? Do we go for the end zone? It would be, they have a 10% chance. Cleveland. I did. Timeout called. Clock is stopped. They're out of timeout, so there's no quick. You can't run 2 plays in 10 seconds. Well, you could. Screen to Blyer. They're going to see if they can stop this. They get 2 plays off quick. It's incomplete. And so with 1 second left, we have no choice. We're trying for 3. Zarella with Colquitt as the holder and Webster as the snapper has a 9.8% chance of making this. And the computer's going, are you nuts? And I say yes. Snap is down, the kick is up, it's drifting left, but it's long enough. And it is no good. It had the distance, but it just hooked to the left. And so at the end of one crazy half of football, it's the Steelers 21, the Browns 13. And so on the right side of the screen, Cleveland, we do the team stats. Cleveland 11 first down, it's to Pittsburgh's 10. Net yardage 202 to 173, and both teams have had one red zone opportunity, and they've made the most of it. A lot of passing for an era that features a lot of running. And the turnover battle, as was said earlier, 2-1 in favor of Cleveland. Pittsburgh has blitzed 10 times to Cleveland's 2. All right, we'll see you later. Second half is always there for you, Strat, when you're ready. Individual stats. Rucker had the 1 catch for 27. Stallworth is 2 for 49. So Tim Collins stands at his 8-yard line. 54 degrees, no wind. A beautiful afternoon for football. And Jarella gets a foot on it, and the second half is underway. Taken by Collins at his goal line. 10, 15, 20-yard line. Taves
Illegal block. Receiving team.
Well, it won't matter. Shirk with the penalty, and so Cleveland starts this drive from their own 6. Pruitt and Pruitt, Rucker, Logan, and Newsom. Cleveland trails by 8, as you can hear the chainsaws behind me. So Mike Pruitt on a sweep to the near side, the first play from scrimmage. He gets a block to the 10. 15, first down. Lambert with a tackle after a gain of 11. So Doug Deacon, the left tackle, makes the big block, and Cleveland now has some room. 19 carries for 46 yards for the Browns on the ground. Sipe 10 for 13 for 146. He was 17 for 30 in the real game for 213 yards, 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. He has the 2 touchdowns and the 1 pick and the botched snap and double fumble for the ages. That's how the Steelers lead it. Greg Pruitt off tackle to the right. Flag on the play. He will get stopped at the 19. Dwight Furness with the
Personal
tackle.
foul. Offense, number 82.
Oh, wow. Now there's a rare play. Lots of rare plays in this one. Ozzie Newsome gets called for the personal foul. So it's 1st and 19 after the 9-yard penalty. And Sam Rutiliano is not a happy camper, as it's spotted at the 8-yard line. 1st and 19. First play of the first series of the second half. Pitch to a flag on the play again.
False start. Offense,
Uh-oh.
number 82.
Again
Repeat
on
first
Ozzie
down.
Newsome. So Ozzie in the last 2 plays has taken 13 yards worth of penalties. So now 1st and 23. So everything that they had early on, they've lost. From the 4, Brian Sipe, not a happy camper. Looks for Rucker on a short slant. He's in the end zone. He's looking. He flips it down. Incomplete. Green hit him as he threw, and that was lucky that wasn't a fumble or a sack. So the Browns get away with one there. 2nd and 23. So 2 tight end set. Browns will go really conservative here. And Greg Pruitt on a trap to the left. He's hoping for a block. He gets one. He gets to the 10-yard line. Before Ron Johnson makes a stop, they'll spot it at the 11. Robert Jackson, the left guard, is responsible for the play. And so it'll be 3rd down and 16. Greg Pruitt on a screen. Still a 2 tight end set. And Sipe is intercepted by Ham, who's going to score. Ham picked it up. And that is the very definition of a pick 6. And Pittsburgh is making the statement this afternoon. That's Ham's 2nd interception of the year, and it's 6 points. And dog biscuits just rain right down. Jarella hits the extra point, and with 13:02 to go, win the 3rd quarter. The Steelers now lead at 28-13. And so Jarella gets it away as the boos cascade down from the 80,000 here at the Dog Pound, taken at the 5, and he fell. Collins falls at the 7-yard line. And you couldn't have written up a worse start for Cleveland as what you've seen in the first 2 minutes and 4 seconds of this first half, or this 3rd quarter. Sipe is intercepted for a pick 6, and then the returning kickoff is stopped at the 7-yard line. Well, Logan on a medium slant. Sipe from his end zone is rushed. He throws it. Logan has it for a 1st down and more to the 20. Wagner with a tackle at the 22-yard line. And Cleveland finally gets out of the shadow of their own end zone. So from their 22-yard line, they can now operate a regular offense. 28-13, Pittsburgh leads. Under 12 to go in the third quarter. Greg Pruitt, pitch to the right side, has a little bit of room. 25 to the 30-yard line. Jack Ham having a huge day. That's his 8th tackle, but it's a gain of 8. So 2nd and 2 from the 30. Cleveland working it right to left, if you're listening. No wind, 54 degrees, just a gorgeous day for football on this 22nd day of October 1978. Mike Pruitt on a fullback dive. Did they get the first down? Yes, they do. He gets it to the 35-yard line. L.C. Greenwood, 3rd tackle. And 1st and 10 from the Browns, from their own 35. Points here, really, they need them. It's not essential. But remember, that mixed extra point makes it a 15-point game, not a 14-point game. And if you're of a certain age, there is no 2-point conversion in 1978. It is two touch interceptions, just like he did to Rick in the regular game. Now, if he gets hurt, he'll match it. And the score, actually, if Pittsburgh scores again and misses the extra point, then we pretty much had the correct score from this game. It's scary how accurate this game can be. Rucker on 1st and 10. On a medium cross. Pittsburgh blitzes. Sipe has time. He looks, he dumps it. Nope, flag down. Ham drilled Pruitt.
Defense, number 59.
But Ham hit him early.
Automatic first down.
And so it's another pass interference call against Pittsburgh. And so 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Cleveland, 10:37, third quarter. Mike Pruitt off tackle left, but nope. Greg on the screen. Sipe with the audible. Pittsburgh blitzes. Uh-oh, that's not good. And it is deflected. Incomplete. So 2nd and 10. You never like it when you see the Steelers start, the defense to start going back in there. 2nd and 10. And we'll give a moment for station identification. This is the Retro Sports Network. And this is the Retro Sports Network on YouTube, your home for the champions of all time. 2nd and 10, which is another game all onto its own. Greg Pruitt on the fullback dive, and he's got some room across the 40 to the 45-yard line. Cole makes the tackle at the 46. Doug Deacon again with his 3rd big block. Robin Cole with his 1st tackle. And it'll be 3rd and 4 for the Browns from their own 46. Calvin Hill comes in for Greg Pruitt. And he'll try a short one in the flat. Sipe, waits, dumps. He's got it. Does he have room down the line? Yes. 1st down at midfield. Inside Pittsburgh territory, Jack Lambert with a tackle. But Jack Ham is hurt. He goes to the sidelines. His return is now questionable. Pittsburgh was doubling Ozzie Newsome. Hill has 2 catches for 22. And now the Browns have it first with a fresh set of downs from the Pittsburgh 44-yard line. Logan on a medium cross. Sipe has time, but not anymore. L.C. Greenwood knocks him down. That's the 2nd sack of the ball game. And it'll be spotted inside the 50, or just on the Cleveland side of the 50 at the 49. Mike Pruitt will sweep it to the right side on 2nd down and 17. Across midfield, but not much more than that. Greenwood makes the tackle after a gain of 4, 3rd and 13. 3 wide receivers. And Hill is the lone setback. Rucker, Logan, and Wright. He's right on a short out on 3rd and 13. Sipe is flushed. Sipe dumps it down to Wright at the 40. And he's trying, but Tony Dungy knocks him out of bounds at the 40-yard line. A gain of 8. 4th and 5. And that leads to some interesting situations. What do you do here? You're not in field goal range. You need 15. And they're going to go. Ozzie Newsome on a short slant. Sipe. Deflected by Lambert. Incomplete. And so it didn't work out. It'll be Pittsburgh ball from their 39-yard line. Sometimes you got to gamble. And for the Browns, this is probably their biggest deficit of the year. So Harris and Blyer, after that drive stall, Swan and Stallworth, and Cunningham. Harris on a sweep to the far side from their own 39. Gets across the 40. Ambrose knocks him down after a gain of 2. So 10 carries and 14 yards for Franco Harris. Yardage-wise, he's not had a good game. But the Steelers have the lead and the football. Flyers sweep to the right as the chainsaw stopped behind me. And he's got some room to the 45. Irons with the tackle. Blyer goes out of bounds at the 46. They're down in 3. 7:04 to go. Harris, trap right. And Cleveland reads that all the way. Irons, no yardage, no gain. I don't know what they're chopping down behind me. Ted Peterson, the right tackle, makes the bad block. And so it's 3 and out for the Steelers. 4th and 3. So here's Colquitt. Browns will return. At the 10-yard line to the 15. Good return to 20. 25. Keith Wright with a 14-yard return. And they'll spot this one at the Cleveland 23. 6:28 third quarter. Cleveland needs some points. It's Pittsburgh 28, Cleveland 13. So Pruitt and Hill, Rucker, Logan, and Newsome. And Pruitt on a sweep to the left. And that gets you nowhere. Mean Joe Green sniffed that out all the way. And Mike Pruitt's been held to 31 yards and 7 carries. 2nd and 10. A screen to Mike Pruitt. Far side. Sipe has got him behind the line of scrimmage. He gets to the 25. Taze makes the tackle at the 27. Lauren Taze's second stop of the game. The Browns now have it 3rd and 6. They're 4 for 9 on 3rd down. And, medium hitch to Reggie Rucker. Pittsburgh blitzes. Sipe's in trouble. Sipe is going to go down. Winston makes the sack. That's his first of the game. Sipe is tackled at the 21. And the Steeler defense has woken up. It's the second time I've had Pittsburgh in this series. And they look so much better than they did against the Browns the first time. So Johnny Evans will punt. And that's off the side of his foot. Pittsburgh is going to get very good field position. At about their own 45, right? Nope, at the 40.
Offsides. Defense. 5-yard penalty.
But White is offside. So Cleveland will get to punt again. So Johnny Evans stands at his 11-yard line. Gets the punt away. This one is least off the right foot and taken at the 36-yard line. It will roll dead there. So 1st and 10 from the Pittsburgh 36. 4:36. 28-13. The Steelers lead it. Flyer off tackle left. They're going to run. And Blyer runs it right into Dick Ambrose. Sam Davis, the left guard, with the bad blot. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the Pittsburgh 36. Pittsburgh's only had 33 plays from scrimmage, thereabouts. And Cleveland has done a good job holding them to under 2.5 yards a carry. Harris on a pitch to the left, to the near side. Does he have any room? Yes, he does a little bit. Mitchell with the tackle at no gain. So again, one of those things. The Cleveland defense has done its job, but so have the Steelers. So has the Steelers defense. So 3rd and 10 from the 36. Medium hitch to Swan. Bradshaw back to throw. A fine Swan at midfield. First down and more. Davis with a tackle at the Cleveland 46. It's a gain of 18. So when Bradshaw's had to throw, he's been effective. 10 for 15 for 185 yards. And so a fresh set of downs from the Steelers at the Cleveland 46. Yeah, the Pittsburgh defense is 14 points. That always helps. What was it? Lombardi did the offense versus defense scrimmage and always was upset when the offense won? Because the defense can only score 2 different ways. You can only do it by a touchdown or a safety. You can't do anything else and score points. But yes, the Pittsburgh defense has outscored the Cleveland Browns today. 1st and 10. Flyer on a pitch to the near side. And he gets a little bit of room across the 45 to the 40-yard line, a gain of 6. Jerry Shirk with the stop. And it'll be 2nd and 4 for the Steelers from the Cleveland 40. And this one is starting to get dicey if you're a Browns fan. Harris on a trap to the right. And he gets across the 40, but not much more than that. It's a 1-yard gain as Jones makes the tackle. So here's the thing. Fantasy, if you were looking at this from a fantasy output, you'd be pretty upset. Franco Harris has 13 carries for 15 yards, but he has a score. And it's 3rd and 3. Stallworth on a short hitch. Bradshaw has time, flips it down, incomplete. He had it, was hit by Scott the corner, and dropped it. So a break for the Browns as Pittsburgh will punt. They're not going to give Cleveland anything here. And Colquitt will aim for the sidelines. And he got probably more of that than he wanted to. And that'll be a touchback. So some teaching the moments for Chuck Nolan this game. Cleveland with 2:13 to go in the 3rd quarter. Start down 15 from their own 20. Greg Pruitt in for Calvin Hill. And Greg will get it off tackle right. And he gets across the line of scrimmage for about 4 yards. L.C. Greenwood with the stop. He has 12 carries for 34 yards. Calvin Hill actually was a leading rusher for Cleveland. He had 42 yards on 10 carries. As I said, Pittsburgh was a 4-point favorite coming in. And they won this game 34-14. Logan on a medium slant on 2nd and 6. Steelers blitz. Sipe has time. He looks, he checks down to Pruitt, incomplete. So Robin Cole got the hurry, and Brian Sipe just couldn't do anything with it. So 3rd and long. They need 6. Short hitch to Ozzie Newsome, who has it for a first down at the 30-yard line. Shell with a tackle. And it's just enough to keep the Browns going. Under a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Mike Pruitt on a sweep to the far side. Has a blocker. Has it across the 40. First down and more. Mel Blount with the tackle. They pick up the penalty flag. The clock stops with 31 seconds, and that's a gain of 15. So from the Cleveland 46, they've moved the football. They have 264 yards. But the 3 turnovers have been costly. Greg Pruitt on a trap to the right on 1st and 10. He's got some room, and he gets across midfield. Dwight Furness is hurt. His return is questionable. With 19 seconds left, the clock is stopped from the Pittsburgh 48. No wind, so it really doesn't matter which direction you're going into. But the Steelers are at least not driving into the parade of milk bones in the fourth quarter. For those of you who are actually paying attention, when did the dog pound thing start? 2nd and 4. Mike Pruitt on a sweep to the near side. This should be the last play of the quarter. And he doesn't get a block. Tays knocks him down for no gain, and he knocked him down out of bounds. So 12 seconds left, 3rd and 4. Logan on a medium slant, Sipe to throw it. Pittsburgh tries to pressure. Lambert gets a piece of it, and with 6 seconds left, they're going to have to punt. So Johnny Evans is back to punt. This will be the last play of the period. It is taken at it's going to roll in the end zone for a touchback. So after 3, nope, there's 1 second left. 1 second left. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Pittsburgh 20. Someone wants my undivided attention. Thank you, phone company, for telling me that I had paid my bill, which I knew 3 days ago. Al says the dog pound started when Marty Schottenheimer started to coach. Okay, that makes sense. So it wasn't the dog pound then, but you never know. We're already 2 years ahead of schedule here. So the last play of the third quarter, Blyer off tackle right from the Pittsburgh 20. He gets a little bit of room before Mitchell knocks him down. So it's time for the last stanza of this one. The Steelers lead by 15. We go to the fourth. It's Pittsburgh 28, Cleveland 13. Hope you're enjoying this on Retro Sports Network. And if you joined us late, the Steelers are in white with their black helmets, going from left to right across the field. The Browns in their brown jerseys and orange helmets are going right to left. 2nd down and 7 for the Steelers as we start the fourth quarter from their own 23-yard line. Stallworth on a medium slant. Bradshaw has all day. He looks, he finds Stallworth at the 40. There's a flag down. It's a gain of 21.
Offsides. Defense. Number 70. 5-yard penalty.
And Mitchell was offside, and Pittsburgh couldn't decline that fast enough. So 3 catches for Stallworth for 70 yards. 1st and 10 from their own 44, and it's a give to Harris on the left side, and Jones makes the tackle. It's a gain of 2. Franco Harris is going to go down with having just an awful day, but his touchdown was big as the Steelers lead it by 15. He only ran for 41 yards in this game on 15 carries. Excuse me. So, on the off chance that he gets 30 yards on his next carry, I'm going to pass out, okay? 2nd down and 8. It'll be Blyer on a trap to the right. And Blyer waits for his blocks and gets it to midfield. Edwards for Cleveland is hurt, and his return is doubtful. So the clock stops 14-10, 3rd down and 4. Benny Cunningham on a short slant. Bradshaw looks. He finds Cunningham over the middle at the 40-yard line. It gets inside the 35. Darden makes a tackle. It's a gain of 18. He'll spot it at the Cleveland 32. So Cunningham, who was playing his last game of the year, if you missed it earlier, I goofed. And instead of hitting play the rest of the week, I played, I hit all games, and it leaked into week 8. So Pittsburgh has already played their week 8 game. I won't tell you who won it. They played the Oilers. So Cunningham was injured in that game. So after this game, I have to injure Cunningham the rest of the way. He's gone 9 weeks, but he's eligible to play here because that's my job. All right. So it makes a gain of 18. Clock running, under 14 minutes to go. Pittsburgh 28-13, another score here. And, well, it's not Monday night, but somewhere Don Meredith has a cold one and is warming up a singing voice. Harris on an off tackle to the right. He gets a little bit of room. He gets it across the 30 and is knocked down after a gain of 3. Cunningham is hurt. He won't return. Well, maybe I won't have to re-injure him. The computer has seemed to have done that for me. I wish the computer listened that well in real life. Clock stops, 2nd down and 7, ball at the 29. Pittsburgh, 6 plays, 51 yards in a minute 41. Harris off-tackled left side. This time, he gets to the line of scrimmage. Ambrose read that one all the way. Were they keying on him? Yeah. They keyed on him, and it showed. And it's 3rd and 8. Grossman is the tight end. Swan on a medium cross from Bradshaw. From the 30, Bradshaw floats one. Swan has it at the 15, to the 10, the 5, and that's 6. Lynn Swan and Terry Bradshaw were on the same page. And that was a 30-yard touchdown pass. His 3rd catch for 77 yards and 2 scores. Extra point from Jarrella is up, and it's good. So, with 12:28 to go, we're kind of getting in the realm of scary time. It's 35-13. You want to know what Swan's numbers in the real game were? Sure you do. I wrote it down. 5 catches for 76 yards. No touchdowns. Jarrella boots this away. And it is taken by one of the up men at the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Return tackled by Terry, not Bradshaw. Sullivan is the returner. He gets a 30-yard. Tom Sullivan gets a 30-yard return. So Cleveland starts this one in a world of hurt from their own 34-yard line. And Greg Pruitt on a trap left. He gets it across the 35-40, 45 first down, almost to midfield. A gain of 14. Ron Johnson makes the tackle. And Pruitt now has 14 carries for 54 yards. For everything that the Steelers have done on offense, and as I.D. Jester said, the defense has done pretty well too. They're only averaging 2.2 a carry, which was Pittsburgh's bread and butter. At least it was in 78. They were much more Bradshaw reliant in 79. Speaking of quarterback reliant, Dave Logan on a long cross to see if Pittsburgh will nap. Sipe has time. Sipe has Logan open at the 30, to the 20, 15, 10, 5, 6. How about that? Talk about a quick strike offense. And Dave Logan has his longest catch of the year. It's 6 points. It's a 52-yard touchdown pass. And the Brownies have a small chance. It's 35-19. From the dirt, Cochran hits right down the middle, and it's 35-20. With 11:23 to go. Pittsburgh 35, Cleveland 20. They're going to play for the return. It's much too early for anything onside, and Bell gets it at his 5. 10 to the far sideline, 20-yard line. Taken down by Scott at the 21. It's Anderson, pardon me, Larry Anderson. And so Pittsburgh will start this drive from their own 21-yard line. Bradshaw's had a monster game, 13 for 19 for 254. So a rare possible game in the 1970s where both quarterbacks could throw for 300 yards. Harris off tackle right, but there's a flag down.
False start. Offense. Number 88.
And Lynn Swan gets the false start.
Down.
So 1st and 15 from the 16-yard line. Franco on the draw. And he gets across the 15 to the 16. Mitchell makes a tackle, no gain. 6 tackle for Matt Mitchell. The Browns and the Kansas City Chiefs next week. This holds. The Browns go in 6-1, and guess what? Kansas City 6-1. Yep, you heard me right. The Kansas City Chiefs of 1978 are 6-1. So you'll see them next week. The original Grognard with a hello, how are you? 2nd and long. Short slant to Randy Grossman. Bradshaw looks, has time, has Grossman open at the 25-yard line. He's got his seam down the middle. It's a gain of 12. St. Clair, by the way, got a hand on it, and Grossman caught it anyway. They'll be short. That's Terry Bradshaw's season high of 266 yards. 3rd and 3. Blyer trap left. Blyer's been the better running back today. And he reaches over and gets the first down. Furness will be back for Pittsburgh the next time the defense is on the field. So it's a gain of 3, fresh set of downs from the Steeler 31-yard line. Sidney Thornton will spell Harris. And he'll get one off tackle to the right. And he gets to the line of scrimmage before Jerry Irons makes the tackle after a no gain. So Irons has 8 tackles. 2nd and 10 for the Steelers. Medium cross to Swan. Bradshaw has time, has blockers. Irons got a hand on it. He waited for Swan to make the crossing move on the field. It looked like Cleveland knew the play and got a piece of it, but didn't try for the interception. So 3rd and long. 3 wide receivers. Stallworth on a medium cross. Bradshaw looks. He's got Stallworth for a first down at the 45. Stallworth crosses midfield. Scott with a tackle after a gain of 21. 1st and 10 from the Cleveland 48. And so the Steelers aren't resting on their laurels. Blyer trap left. 8 minutes to go in the football game. He keeps the legs moving. Ambrose makes the tackle after a gain of 3. 2nd down and 7 from the Cleveland 45. Now Thornton on the Packer sweep to the left. And he's got room across the 40. 1st down and more. He gets to the 35. Jones is hurt for Cleveland. The defensive end, and Turnbow now comes in. Jesse Turnbow. He's got asterisks all over the place. In fact, he was thought of so highly in the mega 2nd and 10 picture gallery, he doesn't even have a picture. So Jones' return is questionable. 7:08, clock stopped. Thornton with the big play there. Sam Davis, the left guard, makes the block. Trap right for Blyer. Cleveland needs something in a hurry. Sims with a tackle. It's a gain of 3. And it'll be 2nd and 7, and we go under 7 minutes to go. So tomorrow, noontime start. Thursday, we'll go back to our Tuesday-Thursday schedule next week. So this Thursday's game, the Eagles and the Redskins from Washington's historic RFK Stadium. Everyone's trailing the Cowboys, but the winner will have an inside leg as we start the second half of the season on the NFC wildcard game. The Cowboys are 7-0. Thornton, pitch to the near side on far side on 2nd and 7, gets across the 30. Ambrose makes a tackle after a gain of 5. It'll be 3rd and short, spotted at the Cleveland 28-yard line. Clock running, under 6 minutes to go. A field goal pretty much ends any chance the Browns have. And right now, it's a 28% chance. Harris comes back in on 3rd and short. And he'll go off tackle to the right. He waits. He's got it. And, well, he's got the ball. But Sims will stop him for no gain. So Mickey Sims with a 3rd tackle. And 4th and 2 from really in no man's land. Well, we'll try it. We will try it. 28% chance here for Jarella. Polk with the holder. Webster the long snapper. And the kick is up. It is drifting right and is no good. So missed from 45. So Cleveland is 5 minutes and 7 seconds to shock the hell out of everybody. Medium cross to Ozzie Newsome. Sipe has time. He looks. He's got deflected. Deflected. He went for Pruitt, and Lambert tried to make the interception and couldn't do it. So 2nd and 10 from the 28. 5:04 in the game. Greg Pruitt tries to do a surprise. He gets across the 30, more, 40, first down, and is tackled, maybe. It's going to be a forced fumble here, isn't it? And the ball is loose. Tays knocks it away. It's recovered by the Steelers, and it's going to be a touchdown. Robin Cole again. A 43-yard touchdown fumble recovery. And turn out the lights. The Browns are going to lose. For the Steelers, the party has just begun. The extra point by Jarrella is good. And with 4:48 to go, it is 42-20. Robin Cole has his second return of the game for a touchdown. And I really can't emphasize how important this win will be for Pittsburgh. Cleveland will return it 2 yards deep. Collins to the 10, 15, 20.
Illegal block.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Team.
It doesn't matter. Davis gets called for the ticky-tack block. Since I've already played the rest of Week 8, and you haven't seen Kansas City, Cleveland and Kansas City will be the Thursday game next week, with Dallas and Philadelphia being the feature game next Tuesday. So Cleveland will fall to 6-1 unless heaven and earth move. Albert Bell hit 17 doubles, and Taylor Swift returns my phone calls. One of those three things will have to happen. All right, now we'll talk to you tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow at noon, Redskins and Eagles. Hit that like and subscribe, just like Al has. So Logan on a short out. 42-20. Logan can't get that one, and it's incomplete. Second down and 10. Screen to Greg Pruitt from their own 9-yard line. Pittsburgh is blitzing. They got it off. Pruitt from his 5 to the 10, 15, first down 20, 25, 30. Tays with a tackle at the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 25. So spotted at the Cleveland 34 as Municipal Stadium starts to empty. Rucker on a medium hitch. Sipe. And that's complete to Rucker. Mel Blount thought he was going to get the pizza, but he couldn't do it. Rucker got a hand up above Blount's, and it's a first down gain of 12. So, 1st and 10 from the Cleveland 46. Medium hitch to Logan. Pittsburgh blitzes. Sipe has time. He tries for Pruitt, incomplete. 2:56 to go in the football game. And that should do it. And that should really be about it. What a game for Robin Cole. And what a game for Terry Bradshaw. 15 for 22 for 287 yards. 2nd and 10. Greg Pruitt on a sweep to the left. Under 3 minutes to go. Pruitt runs. He gets it to midfield. White with a tackle. Jones is available. Pittsburgh still with the starters in the game. Ball is out of bounds at the Pittsburgh 49. 3rd and 5. Short slant to Newsome here. Flag on the play. Sipe throws. Newsome has it for a first down at the Pittsburgh 40. Donnie Shell with the tackle. It's a 9-yard gain.
Encroachment defense. Number 75.
Mean Joe Green made contact before the play, and so that's Brian Sipe's high, 288 yards. So from the 40, 2:40 to go. Greg Pruitt on a short flat, and that's incomplete. So that's the next 3 games. This week concludes with Philadelphia and Washington tomorrow at noon, 9 Pacific. And then Tuesday's game will be Dallas and Philadelphia. And Thursday's game will be what I'm sure would have been an absolute stunner in the NBC boardrooms in 1978. The 6-1 Cleveland Browns and the 6-1 first place Kansas City Chiefs. Mike Pruitt on a trap to the right. And he's got some room. He'll get it down to the 35. Gain of 6. Ball spotted at the 34. 3rd and 4. Logan on a medium slant. Sipe waits. Has Logan at the 20. So after the 2-minute warning, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Browns. And so Sipe goes over 300 yards for the first time this year. So a little too late for Cleveland. But at the Pittsburgh 19, and they'll finally go 3 wide. Calvin Hill is a setback. And we'll do a short pass in the flat to him. Sipe has time. Hill dropped it. Hill trying to make the cut upfield with the ball not in his hand, and that's a drop. So 2nd and 10 from the 19. Pittsburgh starting to look really good again. Logan on a short cross, 2nd and 10. Sipe finds him on the dirt at the 12-yard line. So 6 catches and 107 yards today for Logan. And 2 touchdowns. Clock running, 1:47 to go. Ball on the Pittsburgh 11. 3rd and short, 3rd and 2. Keith Wright on a short slant. Sipe has time. Looks for Newsome, incomplete. 1:15 to go. And they'll kick it here. So Don Cockcroft with the field goal, and he hits it, and so it's 42-23. Pittsburgh with a 1:11 to go. They'll watch for the onside. They get the onside, and Pittsburgh recovers. Mullins has it at the 49, and that'll do it. So we get the blowout unit. Thornton and Harris are the running backs. Kruzek is the quarterback. Bell and Smith, we're not going to throw it. I don't know if Cleveland will try to stop it. Sidney Thornton off tackle right. 1st and 10 from the Cleveland 49, and he gets a first down. He got a huge blitz, a 2nd and short. Mike Webster makes the huge block. 51 seconds left. Thornton on the dive. And that's a first down, and he gets a lot more. He gets to the 30, 25-yard line. So Pittsburgh's running stats are going to look great, but it won't matter as this one is over. The Pittsburgh Steelers have dethroned the last undefeated team in the AFC, the Cleveland Browns, 42-23. This one was pretty much over at the half, even though it was only an 8-point game. Bradshaw hit Swan to open the scoring with 3:02 left in the first quarter. Cleveland tied it on a 10-yard pass from Sipe to Logan. Then Franco Harris right down there to make it 14-7. Then came the Pittsburgh defense. First it was Robin Cole on a 69-yard fumble recovery. That made it 21-7. Sipe hit Rucker with 56 seconds left to make it 21-13, but Don Cockcroft mixed the extra point, and that pretty much was it, 21-13. Jack Ham with a pick 6 at the goal line for 10 yards in the 3rd quarter. That made it 28-13. Bradshaw hit Swan to make it 35-13, and then Sipe hit Logan for 52. Robin Cole's 2nd touchdown coming on a 44-yard fumble recovery. His 2 fumble recoveries gave him 113 yards, and after that, it was all gravy. Team stats, yeah, you can see that. 24-18 first downs in favor of Cleveland. Yardage was in favor of Cleveland, 431 to 394, but those turnovers hurt. Robin Cole, not even listed as one of the players of the game. Robin Cole's 2 turnovers for scores were the big difference. Bradshaw, 15 for 22 for 287. Sipe, 21 for 36 for a season-high 311. And so that'll do it, my friends. Hit like, subscribe, and all that. When we get together tomorrow, Washington and Philadelphia. And Philadelphia with a win has a good inside shot at making the NFC wildcard game. So one more game in Week 7, but the big news is the Steelers are in great shape because I'll tell you, they beat Houston 21-20. So they go their first half of the season, they're now 6-2. This is really a race, and they've played both their games for the year, Pittsburgh and Cleveland. So there you go. The final score from Cleveland, Pittsburgh 42, Cleveland 23. For Retro Sports Network, I'm Ron Juckett. We'll talk to you tomorrow.